Hello everyone. Can you hear me okay? As always, I gotta make sure y'all can hear me before I let them out. Can. All right. Release the beasts. Who is your heart rat? Like right now or like overall the rats I've ever had? Because right now, I think I'm most bonded with Flurry. But overall, I think Cape or Dusty. How do you pick their names? I just find a weather term that sounds like it could be a rat name. Is there thunder snow yet? It'll be a while before we get to T's. I'm at F's right now. Oh, they're already fighting. They're brawling already. Freeze is a little skittish today. I don't know what happened outside my apartment, but there was a really loud noise and it scared the crap out of Freeze. Which usually it's Fujita that gets like that. What happened on your last live stream? Do you know what caused the crash? I have no idea. Literally, it was broken for like an hour to where the stream was technically still going, but I was like watching my own live stream as a viewer. It was so bizarre. And I finally got it to the point where I could delete it. But yeah, it was just so weird. I don't know what happened. And then I couldn't go live again, even after I deleted it. So then I just gave up. So hopefully nothing happens today. Will there ever be an A or B rats? I don't know. Probably definitely not a A, just because A is kind of a hard word for names. When is Drizzle's surgery? Drizzle's surgery is the 4th. It is Thursday. Isn't that right, Drizzle? She's been eating lots of healthy foods, getting lots of exercise. I want to make sure that she's as healthy as she can be before she gets her surgery. Hi, Cheeto, Jeff, and Chungus. I hope you guys are having a rat-tastic day. Oh my gosh, Flurry. She's chaotic. What do you feed your rats? Their base food is the Oxbow adult rat food. And I'd say the other 20% of their food is vegetables. And, you know, like treats, table scraps. But not right now. Drizzle is healthy foods only right now. Does Drizzle need to not eat before her surgery? No, that's never been something that my vet has recommended. I feed mine baby food sometimes. Oh, yes. When, especially when you have to give them medication, baby food is my go-to. Specifically, the chicken baby food. Rats go crazy for that. They will eat that with anything. Hi, Flurry. Okay. She's coming for my head. She likes to sit on top of my head for some reason. Go over there. Oh, where's the tumor? She's got two, unfortunately. One that's pretty big. Oh, shush. Yeah, there's the big one right there. And then she's got a smaller one under her armpit that you can't quite see by itself, but you can feel it. It's like barely a tumor. Like, part of me thinks it's kind of just like fat. It's like smaller than a pea size. But yeah, it's the big one that we're worried about. Yeah, rats can be known to either chew on their own tumors or on other rat tumors because they see it as like a invasion, which it is, you know. Like, especially if it hurts or something, they're gonna want to try to chew it off. If it's an abscess or something. So it can get dangerous at times, especially when they get bigger. You have to be careful. Have you ever watched Ratatouille? Of course. Who hasn't? Are rats your only pets? Yes. I am a single human living in a very small apartment. If I had a bigger space and more time, I'd probably adopt a dog. Just because I've always had dogs growing up. But I do not have time or space for a dog. What's the most amount of rats you've had at one time? My old rat, Dusty, she had a surprise litter of 12. And I had 3 other rats at the same time. So, no, I had 4 rats at the same time. I can't remember how many rats I had at that time. But over 12, over 15. Have the rats been around snow? These rats haven't. Drizzle has. But my new ones haven't, because I live in a place that's pretty warm. But when I go home for Christmas, I'm hoping that there will be some snow so we can show them snow for the first time. Drizzle's tail? I didn't see anything on Drizzle's tail. Why did it look weird? I don't even know where she went. Do your rats like to snuggle with you? Flurry does. Flurry is the queen of snuggles. Yeah, Fujita is getting a lot braver. She's just, you have to make sure not to make any fast movements around her. It seemed stiff when she came out of the cage. Her tumor might be bothering her. Drizzle. Is she in here? Drizzle. Oh. She said, "What you want?" She poked her head out so fast. Yeah, her tail looks fine to me. doing? What are you doing? Do, 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 do. She said, don't freaking touch my tail, I swear. She's so sassy. She looks like Felix from Stray Kids. How? How? Have you given them an ice cube? I haven't, actually. Not these rats. I don't think they would react to it very much. Are your rats chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil? I'm gonna go with chaotic evil. They commit crimes, but like not the type of crimes that hurt people most of the time. My rat's favorite toy? I don't think they have like a specific favorite toy. Like, they love things that they can climb on. I will say that rat towers are probably the best purchase that you can make. Cat towers are some of the best purchases that you can make as a rat owner. They love them so much. Drizzle, you have 2 shadows following you. They are rats. Are all of your rats named after meteorologic events? Yes. Yes, they are. I am a meteorologist in real life. My IRL job. Oh. So I kind of stick with the theme when it comes to naming. Plus, it makes naming rats easier when you have, like, a theme, you know? Because if I didn't have a theme, I'd be thinking about names for ages. Oh, should we do some names for the people that don't know? Silver one, this is Freeze. A little Miss Freeze right here. And then the black one is Fujita. A little Miss Fujita, she's a little scaredy cat. And then, where is she? Drizzle's in here. Drizzle, where the heck are you? I know she's in there. There she is. Hi, Drizzle. What you doing? What you doing? And then Flurry. Where the heck did she go? Oh, there she is. She said you rang. This is Flurry. Oh my god. Fujita, you are whipping her around. Oh. Too many rats inside the hide, apparently. That thing's been up there for years. I've never had... I've never had them break the thing. That's crazy. Too heavy. Too many rats inside the hide. This was stuck up here. It is pretty heavy with all of them in there. I'm surprised it didn't break sooner. I'm gonna have to put this somewhere. Y'all can sit over here. You broke it. I think it's Drizzle. Drizzle's extra heavy right now. Freeze, can you get off my feet, please? Thank you. They're like, what the heck is this doing down here? They're all 4 in there. You guys broke it. Too many of you got in there at the same time. You broke it. I like how they're all in there now. It's like they're trying to figure out what happened. How do I make my pet rats not destroy everything I buy them? This is a pro tip, something that took me a while to figure out. But, of course, I don't know exactly what your rats are destroying. But if they're destroying, like, fabric items, like hammocks and stuff, buy them scraps of, like, fabric from craft stores or, like, Walmart or something. Because rats need stuff to nest with. And if they don't have enough stuff to nest with, they will destroy things to get the nesting material. So old fabric, even if you have like old socks and stuff like that. Ever since I started giving my rats nesting material, I have not lost a hammock. I feel like nobody talks about that when it comes to like pet rat care, but it is so important to give them nesting material. No articles online, nobody talks about it. It's kind of something that you have to figure out by yourself. Are Ratty boxes worth it? I think they are. It depends on what your personal financial situation is, though, of course. There's always other methods that you could use. Also, I feel like I can't be unbiased in this because we do have a partnership with them. But I do like their products a lot. Has this group of rats ever attempted to become pigeons? Freeze has. This one. The thing with Freeze, though, is that she's very easily trained. Like, if I put her in the timeout for something that she did, I only have to put her in the timeout for, like, 2 or 3 times, and she'll get it. She'll then understand, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. So she doesn't try again, which is something very different that I haven't had with other rats. She takes discipline very well. So she has tried to become a pigeon, but I've trained her to not attempt escape. Is there anything you wish you would have found out or researched more before getting rats? Actually research what kind of foods that they can't have, because a lot of like the chain pet store rat food that you see like on shelves and stuff, a lot of that stuff isn't actually good for rats. Like if some of those mixed blends have dried corn in it, that is so bad for rats. And so I kind of wish that I researched that a little bit more. Yeah, I also make my own mix. I buy like several different types of bags, and then I hand separate like the different stuff that's good for them to eat. But their base is the Oxbow rat food brand, but then I also buy I can't remember what the other bag is, but I don't use the full bag. I separate the food out by hand. Because, you know, these big companies aren't going to make food just for rats, you know, because not a lot of people have rats. So when they make these foods, it's usually for like hamsters or something, because more people have pet hamsters. But just because hamsters can eat something doesn't mean that rats can eat it too. Do you feed them chicken? As a little treat. As a little treat, they do love chicken. If I'm eating chicken and I have some left over, I'll give it to them. I'll probably give Drizzle some chicken before her surgery. Flurry, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What was your oldest rat? Dusty, I think, was actually my oldest rat. I typically get rescue rats, so they're not the most healthy. This is actually the first time that I've ever gotten them from like an actual breeder, the 3 Fs that I have right now. But before I've done mainly rescues, so they weren't the most healthy rats, therefore they didn't live as long. So Dusty was my oldest living rat. She lived over 2.5. But we'll see with these breeder rats what happens. Hi, Drizzle. What's up? Flurry, why are you trying to climb in my shirt? I didn't consent to this. Do you know who the sire for Dust Devil's litter was? Nope. No clue. I would assume that they were probably pretty similar to her, considering that the babies came out looking like carbon copies of Dust Devil. They definitely weren't Dumbo, though, because all of her babies didn't have Dumbo ears, but Dusty was a Dumbo. Oh, girl. She just did a flip. She did acrobats. Y'all see that? That was impressive, girl. Get out of my shirt, Flurry. I swear. Do you still get hate comments? If you do, how do you deal with them? I still get hate comments, but they're not as fun as before. Like, before they used to be, like, unhinged in a way that was funny. But I feel like in the past, like, year or so, they've been hate comments in a way that I can't really make into a video, and they're not funny, you know? Like, it's usually really stupid stuff. Bring back the unhinged, funny hate comments, please. I blame... Yeah. Trumpy's gonna Trump. I blame Donald Trump for my hate comments, yes. This is Trump's America. Flirt, stop trying to get in my shirt. Stop. Get out. Drizzle's trying to bury herself. What are you doing? Why are chain pet stores a bad thing? It really does depend on the location, but most of the time the rats that they get come from rodent mills, which are, you know, inhumane in itself. And also just the way that they take care of their rats is not good. If you buy from a chain pet store, they're going to be kept in a glass cage, which pretty much guarantees that you're going to adopt a rat with a respiratory illness. So it's just unhealthy all around, and by, you know, buying from these chain pet stores, you're pretty much contributing to them for them to keep selling rats this way. So it's just kind of a controversial method. But of course, every situation is different. So I'm not judging people who do buy from chain pet stores, because I do know of locations that actually get their rats from breeders. So it all just depends on the situation. Oh. I saw that coming. Oh no. Put it back up there. I had this thing sitting on it. There we go. When you adopt a rat, what age do you buy them from, if it's breeders? It's like a newborn or just newborn enough to be fluffy? You have to buy them after they've been weaned off of their mother, but before they're able to procreate with their siblings. So that is around 5 or 6 weeks, depending on the breeder. Because female rats can get pregnant at around 6 weeks. So that by that time they have to be separated from their brothers, and you can adopt them out at that time. What do you think is the best cage for a rat? Critter Nation, all the way. I would argue that Critter Nation cages are the only cage that you can buy and not have to modify to fit rats. Because if you buy any other brand of cage, you're going to have to modify something to make it work for rats. Because either they have like bars on the floor, which can give rats bumblefoot, or the bars are too far spaced apart. So if you don't get a Critter Nation, it's like 100% likely that you're going to have to modify whatever cage that you do get. I've heard of people getting like bird cages and modifying those. How are these rats different from sewer rats? These are domesticated rats. These are fancy rats, just like how dogs had been domesticated from wolves. Rats were domesticated in the 1800s. And so these are a completely different breed than the sewer rats or the rats that you would see in cities. Hence the different colors, smaller bodies, stuff like that. Different breed. What's your average weekly or monthly budget for the ratties? Monthly? Well, you always have to save some money, put money aside for vet bills, just because rats do get sick pretty often. And so I usually try to keep $400-ish to the side for emergencies. But on a normal month where nobody is sick, I'd say less than $100. Again, I'm American though. Hi, hello. So that's in US dollars. I don't know how it would be in other countries. What are y'all doing in the corner? Hi, Nova and Remy. I hope you guys are having a good day. Hello, Snowy and Beagle. Or is it Bagel? Sorry. Why are rats so vulnerable to diseases? Because domesticated rats are lab rats. They use domesticated rats for experiments, lab stuff. So they're not exactly bred to live a long time. That's why they have so many babies. I'm hoping eventually that we'll get to a point where we're able to breed rats that live longer. But then again, rats haven't been domesticated for as long as like, say, dogs have. So there's just not a lot that we know about rats. Fancy puffer, thank you. I got bit by a sewer rat. I couldn't resist potato. Boop. Yeah, don't go around trying to pick up wild rats. They're very different than domesticated rats. A whole different breed. When did you first start having rats? Did you find it difficult the first time? Well, I actually started having rats when I was still living with my parents. I was like 11. So I don't know how difficult it actually was. I could ask them. But I had rats when I was a kid. And then when I went to college and started living on my own, I got them again. And of course, by that time, I knew how to take care of them by myself because I had them when I was with my parents. So I didn't find it difficult, but that's also because I had experience. Do wild rats have longer lifespans? I thought they were about the same. They are about the same. I think domesticated rats live a little bit longer if, you treat them okay. But, yeah, they're just not meant to live for very long. Unfortunately. You need help down? You look like you need help. No? Okay. Yeah, when it comes to... I had to learn everything from scratch. Research, y'all. Yeah, there's just not a lot of information out there about how to care for pet rats. So a lot of times when you do get pet rats, you kind of have to do everything yourself, figure out everything yourself. I always tell people to do research from like actual rat parents and not just like random articles on the internet. r/rats on Reddit is really helpful. I know it's kind of silly to say that, but learning from people who actually have rats is very helpful. They're fighting in there. Do Ratty Box ship to the UK? I believe they do, yes. Drizzle is so annoyed. She's squeaking up a storm. She's like, don't touch me. I swear. What can they eat? An easier question would be, what can't they eat, really? There's a lot of really random stuff that's bad for them. So before I feed them anything new, I always look it up. Just because the stuff that is like poisonous for them is so random. Flurry is so fluffy. I know. She's actually the smallest one out of the bunch. She's like got dwarfism. You can kind of see it in her eyes. But she doesn't look that small because of how much fur she has. She sheds like a dog, I swear. Yeah, cheese, dairy products in general are bad for rats. The cartoons have lied to you. I wouldn't say they hate cheese. Some rats will eat it if you give it to them, but it's bad for them. Very bad for their digestive system. Rats can actually be pretty picky with what they eat because they're they're physically unable to vomit. And they kind of, I wouldn't say they know this about themselves, but just like naturally, you know, they know not to eat foods that they're not aware of because they can't vomit. And that's why rat poison works so well. It's because they can't get rid of the poison. Lactose-free cheese exists. Yeah, that's why you see people giving the rats yogurt. The lactose-free stuff is just fine for them. As long as it doesn't have lactose in it, it's all good. What do you have? What is that? Oh, it's a raisin. I gave them a snack earlier. Did you find a raisin? Have yours had a yogurt? I don't buy, personally, I hate yogurt. Oh, good job you pooping. Thank you for using the litter box, Fujita. You're such a good girl. Such a good girl. She's like, I'm trying to go to the bathroom. Don't look at me. What was I saying? Well, yeah, I hate yogurt. I don't like the way it tastes. So I don't typically buy it because when you have rats, you just give them a little bit. So then I feel like I'd be wasting the yogurt, you know? How do you train your rats to use the litter box? I know it's easier for females than it is for males. Oh, look at Drizzle's tumor. I feel like it swells, her tumor, when she's been active. I don't know why that is. Litter box training. Female rats are easier to train when it comes to litter box training. The method that I've always used is if they go outside of the litter box, use something to pick it up with, a tissue, a spoon, something, scoop it, and put it back inside the litter box. And eventually they'll just figure out that that's where it's supposed to go. And that method has never not worked for me. But then again, I've only ever had female rats, and I know that female rats tend to be a lot easier to train than male rats are. I hope Drizzle makes it. Yes, I do want to make it completely clear to everybody that the reason why I was so hesitant about Drizzle getting this surgery is because she is 2 years old, which is pretty old for her to be having a surgery. So I would say that I wouldn't say 50-50, maybe 30-70 of a chance that she will not wake up from anesthesia. That's a very real possibility. And I want to make sure that everybody's aware of this because I don't want it to come as a shock if something bad does happen. I'm praying and crossing my fingers that she'll make it through. And my vet seems very optimistic that she will make it through. Drizzle's very healthy and very energetic for her age, which is why we decided to go with surgery. But if she wasn't so energetic and healthy at her age, I would say no surgery. But because she is, we're gonna risk it because quality of life is always the most important thing to me. So everybody keep Drizzle in your thoughts. Oh, big yawn. Did you see her yawn? Yeah, she's aside from her tumors, she's always been a very healthy girl. No other problems other than her tumors. For 2, she looks really good, you know? Like, usually you can tell when a rat's getting older, but her coat is shiny. It's, you know, she looks young. So we're optimistic, but there's always that chance, you know. What kind of rats do you have? Like the breed, these are domesticated fancy rats. If you're talking about coat type, Flurry here is some type of Rex. She's got curly hair. You can see it especially in her whiskers. But she's also got some dwarfism. Her eyes are smaller. She's a little bit smaller. Coat type for Drizzle. She's a hooded champagne rat. And then Freeze and Fujita are silver mains. More so Freeze. Freeze is more of your typical silver mane. Where's Fujita? Oh, Fujita's in timeout for some reason. Why you put yourself in timeout? What are you in there for? Why is there duct tape on the wall? To keep them from escaping. What do you want? What do you want? What's up? She wants to get on top of my head. She likes sitting up there for some reason. Is duct tape safe for rats? I wouldn't say it's safe. I've always trained my rats not to chew on it, but I do know stories of other people saying that their rats have chewed on it. Drizzle came to sit on my shoulder. I think she wants to go back to the cage. She's old, so she gets tired quicker. You can't see it. Oh, you can kind of see my shadow. You can see she's on my shoulder. Look at that. You can see her. There she is. My shoulder. Are you wanting to go back to the cage? You tired? Do these rats escape as often as the previous ones? No, actually. I've got the playpen set up to where they can't escape very easily. They haven't found a way to get out very easily. Because I've got these these cardboard barriers and stuff. They haven't figured out yet that they can jump from here to there. So they haven't figured it out yet. Also, that's partially because Flurry and Drizzle have red eyes, so their eyesight's bad. So they can't quite see opportunities of escape very well. But see, I've got like barriers so they can't jump out. What would be a good starting breed of rats? There's only one breed of rat that's domesticated. Fancy rats are the only domesticated rat breed. There's only just different coat types, which is why they look different. Yeah, patterns don't matter on personality. Personally, this is just something that I've come to, like, just in my experience of having rats. White rats, especially with females. Of course, this is probably just my experience and has nothing to do with anything whatsoever. But my experience, white rats have been a lot more loving and cuddly. And I've heard other people say that too. Yeah, there's things like Dumbo, which is just like, that's just like the position of their ears, but it has nothing to do with like a personality or anything like that. Like the breed is all the same. What are you doing? Oh, she scratched up my arm. Do they like pets? Sometimes. Only certain rats like pets. Flurry loves pets. Not right now, apparently. She's looking for an escape route. You can see it. It depends on the rat if they like pets or not, especially with females. Females are a lot more energetic than males are. Male rats are known to be a lot more affectionate. What toys do you recommend? Budget-friendly toys, cardboard. Cardboard boxes, like soda boxes, tissue boxes, anything like that for rats to climb on. They go crazy for that stuff. A lot of DIY toys and stuff can be the best toys for rats, honestly. Like, look, I made them a ball pit. Can I give them tissues or will they eat them? I've never had rats eat tissues. If anything, they'll use them as nesting material. But the little puffs, the dust from tissues, if they have too many, isn't that good for them? What is Drizzle doing? Why are you carrying around a pumpkin? Fujita, leave her alone. Fujita, that was not your pumpkin. Drizzle was carrying that around. That was not yours. What the heck? Here, Drizzle. That's for you. Don't want it anymore? Do they get mad if you touch their tails? It depends on the rat. Some of them don't really care. They absolutely will get mad if you pick them up by their tail, though. That's very painful for a rat. Do not do it. Their tails are a part of their spine, so you can seriously injure them. Oh. I see you trying to escape. You ain't slick. Drizzle the yellow rat, yes. Drizzle is the cream-colored rat. Next to her over here, the silver rat is Freeze. This is Freeze. Black rat is Fujita. And then white rat is Flurry. What happens when you show a rat a mirror? Nothing. They can't see very well, like at all. Rats don't use their sight to get around. So unless they're really, really focusing, they're not going to be able to see anything in the mirror. Why are y'all just stealing this? They keep stealing the pumpkin from her. They're so mean. They keep stealing your pumpkin. What was that? What's that all about? Oh. Rip. No, never, never, ever, ever pick up a rat by their tail. Ever. Their tails are attached to their spines. so it can seriously damage their spine, or even worse, the tail could deglove, which is a different torture in itself. Why is everybody in there? They're having a party in there. What software do you use to edit? I use CapCut. I've used CapCut since the very beginning. Hi, Spaghetti, Ratatouille, and Sally. Hope you guys are having a good day. Oh yeah, rats love cat trees. Rats love to climb, especially female rats. So, if you have funds for it, cat trees are a big hit. No, don't pick up your rats by their tail. No, please. I usually don't shame other, pet parents, but for the love of God, do not do that. Do not do that. That's bad. You could seriously, seriously hurt them. Did they like any veg and fruit? Would you do a vid on it? I think I've done a similar video on what my rats eat. They do like vegetables and fruits, of course, but especially for male rats, there are certain citrus fruits that they cannot eat. So before I feed my rats anything, I always just look it up just to, be safe about it. Oh. What are y'all doing back there? Where'd you get the little turtle fountain from some of your older vids? I got it off of Amazon, but now when I look for it, I cannot find it. So I'm very sorry, because I've looked for it. But I can't even remember what it was called anymore because it was so long ago. Oh, the new guys? They especially, which is new for rats, they especially like leafy greens. Like kale and stuff, I've found. They're not big on different types of fruits, but leafy greens, they really like tomatoes. Yeah, lettuce, like, just by itself, which, like, iceberg lettuce by itself doesn't have a lot of nutritional value, so it's okay that rats don't like it very much, but I've never had rats that, like, just like lettuce. But, like, kale, cabbage, and stuff, they really like it, and it's really good for them. What are you doing, Miss Ma'am? She is observing intently. What you sniffing? Her little hand. I love it when they pick up their little hand like that. So dainty. So proper. Somebody is doing interior design. You doing interior design over here? They sleeping in there? What the heck? Where'd Drizzle go? Oh, she's over there. She's just trying to find a way to cause chaos. I can tell. I can see it in her face. You just want to cause mischief. I'm watching you. Back to it. She says, interior design is my passion. Cut it out. Yeah, poor girlie doesn't know that making that window bigger is not going to get her anywhere. It's facing the wall. Do they ever leave their playpen? Not if I can help it. Well, they have a cage, of course. They're not always in the playpen. They're only in here for a couple hours a day. A cage tour is actually the one thing that I absolutely refuse to do on my channel, just because people are so judgy when it comes to rat cages. Like, I know what I'm doing, like what my cage setup is for my rats. I know what I'm doing is good for them and what works the best for us. But for some reason, when it comes to the rat community and when it comes to rat cages, there is so much just fighting. So it has nothing to do with you guys. I know you guys would probably be lovely, but I just do not want to get in that mess. You know what I'm saying? It's the one thing that I absolutely refuse to do is a cage tour. Because there's always going to be, you know, somebody that has something nasty to say, and ugh. Everyone's an animal expert on the internet these days. I know. You could do everything right, and somebody will still be like, actually... It gets so annoying sometimes. Like, I'd love to read comments more and, like, interact with you guys more. But sometimes the comments just get so toxic for no reason, you know? That's why I like doing lives, though, because I know the people who are watching are people who, you know, like, are subscribed to me and like the content. But sometimes I wish people would just not comment, you know, on every single thing that they see. It's very unnecessary. How long did it take your rats to get used to you? It depends on the rat. Fujita over here still isn't that used to me. She doesn't like to be picked up very much. It really just depends on the rat. Because Flurry over here, we bonded right away. On day one, she was wanting to cuddle and play and do a bunch of stuff with me. But some rats just will never, want to be picked up or played with. Where's Drizzle? Speaking of an example of a rat who never wants to be picked up or played with. She's a squeaky toy because of how much she doesn't like to... Come here. Drizzle just straight up doesn't enjoy human interaction, which is fair because same. Oh, your foot's stuck. Yeah, she's like, you're looking at me and it's making me uncomfortable, so I'm gonna go in here. And then there's this one, on the other hand. She just wants to be in my face 24/7. If Flurry could crawl inside my skin and live there, she would. Drizzle, on the other hand. Look at her. She's like, do not touch me. So it does really just depend on the rat. Some rats, no matter what you do, how much time you spend with them, they're just not, they're not touchy. They don't want to be pet. And, people are the same way. Some people have, personal bubbles. Others are like affection more than others. Rats are the same, And Drizzle is very valid for her feelings. Oh. What the heck was that? Drizzle scared the crap out of Flurry. Oh. A fight is happening. What are you doing? Ew. Flurry, leave her alone. Fujita's like, what the heck's going on? What's going on in there? What are you doing? Oh. I can't see what's happening, but by the sound of it, I think Flurry is winning. Is Drizzle usually more affectionate with her fellow ratties than humans? Yes. I wouldn't say she's affectionate with her fellow ratties, but she definitely gets along with them more. She would much rather hang out with other rats than people. Which, again, same. Me too. So I do not blame her. Let's see, as soon as I try to pick her up, she'll squeak. She's a squeaky toy. Oh, you didn't squeak that time? She's like, I know you're filming me. I'm not going to do it. Are you wanting to go back to the cage? They usually get in here once they're ready to go back inside the cage. Is it bedtime? Oh yes, they love pasta as a little snack. It's good for their teeth. Not so good if you feed them a lot of it, because it's a lot of carbs. Oh, okay. It's bedtime, because I can't get Fujita in there normally. I can't get her in there. She just went in there willingly, so it's bedtime now. Yeah, we're gonna put them back in the cage, so thank you guys for watching the live. I don't know when the next time that I'm gonna have a live is. Yeah, you're going in there soon, don't worry about it. Because of Drizzle's surgery, he's ear tumor, her surgery on the 4th. So I don't know when the next live will be. But thank you guys for joining. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.